Greetings everyone, my name is Tony Holowitz, and in this tutorial I want to talk to you about some of the Link2Quote settings. Specifically, I want to address layouts. Now, just a little bit of terminology here. I believe that it would be easy to sort of interchange some words here, layouts versus templates. I might even, when I speak, interchange those words, so I want to forewarn you as I talk about this. But let me show you some of the layouts I've created, and then I'm going to sort of circle back and talk about this and how I got to this point. So in the Link2Quote settings, I'm going to click on the Layouts tab. Inside the Layouts tab, you'll see that right now I have 5 layouts. And if I want to see what these layouts look like, I can simply come over here on the far left and click on Preview Layout. A new tab will open, and this is the layout. This is the standard 2024 layout. You'll see it right there. Let me go back to this tab and let's see the service layout. I'm going to click on this one. Now keep in mind, this one was blue. Let me go back to this and I'm going to click on the service template. Now this one, there's no blue in it. We got some boxes, we got some gray in it. It's just another sample. Let's go back here. Let's click on the service modern template. Again, now we have some colors, some orange and gray, and we actually have some little icons in here. Looks sort of interesting. Let me go back again. Let's do the Service Classic Test A. And I'm going to click on the preview. And this one is very simple. And this is getting a little closer to something you might anticipate in maybe a Microsoft Word document, where it's very minimalist and it only has the information you want. Let me go back and look at the 5th one, Service Classic Test B. And here is another look. It's got some gray in it to break things apart a little bit. But again, as I go through these and look at the different templates, you see they're all slightly different. Now, I called these a template, but they're really a layout, and I just did it. I just interchanged those words. So let's say for your business, you want to design a layout that suits the way you send things out. How do we do that? Well, I'm going to come here and click on New. And I'm going to, in this layout name, I'm going to type in sample layout. I'm just going to call it sample 1. And at this point, there's a lot of options I can put here. I can choose a header logo. I can insert contact info. I can have some notes, acceptance text, terms and conditions, closing text. I can use the acceptance email that I've created by scratch or use the global one. If I have a calendar link, I could potentially enable that. I could use I could change the calendar call to action link, a form link if I needed to, and the form call to action. So there's a lot of settings here. I'm next going to come in and I'm going to click on template because we really haven't done anything yet. And I'm going to click on template. Now, again, here's that interchange between words. We went into layouts, but they have created some default layouts or templates that I can choose to use without having to worry about a lot of things here. So just for the sake of our discussion, let's say I'm going to use this orange one. And I'm going to say create and close. Actually, I take that back. I'm going to click on save. And now I've got the proper one. I'm going to click on preview to see what it looks like. And I anticipated it's orange. Okay, so this is the one we're working on. Let me come back here. Template is what I just selected, but now I'm going to click on Customize Style. And this is the one that really blows my mind because you can change so many of the settings here. It's unbelievable. And this is really the area where I think you would spend the most amount of time coming in, customizing things, colors, and trying to understand what they are. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit, and I'm going to look at the bottom half of this first. What it's saying is show me the fields that you want to see on that template. So I'm going to come back here. This is the template that I just did. I'm going to close the other ones so there's no confusion. So now this is the one I just created. But see right here where it says billing company? The billing company would be John Doe in this case. I'm going to click on this and I'm going to say hide. I'm going to click on save. I'm going to come up to the template and I'm going to click on refresh, and now the billing company is gone. Now, I might have done that backwards, so let me do that again. Let me come back and say, let's show that. And actually, when I come back up to the template and refresh it, so it's showing the billing company right here, just the name. But when I turned it off, see what I'm saying? There's so many options here. You got to really say, okay, how does this work? If I hide it, the billing company, again, was Random Company Inc. If I save this and refresh it here, now Random Company Inc. is gone. So that little piece, just that single little piece, is something you can decide to take out. So you can take out background color, I'm sorry, let me go back, billing address, billing email, phone number. These are all set up to show by default. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hide all of these just so you can see when I go in and choose what this is going to look like, you'll see how much this is going to change. And I'm going to save it. I saved it. I'm going to go up to the template and I'm going to refresh the template. And look, almost everything is gone. So the point I'm trying to make here is in the layout editor, we have tons of choices. We can change different colors. We can actually pick, if we don't like the current one, which is orange, let's say I'm going to do red. I'm going to save this. I'm going to go back up. I'm going to refresh this, and it's going to go from orange to red. So there's just so many choices that you can really break this look and feel down for virtually every aspect of this layout. Once you get the layout and you save it, and again, I'm going to come back here, and I'm going to click on Save, and then I'm going to click on Save and Close to get out of here. Okay. So how does this come in? Well, if I click New, because I want to create a new quote, I can create it from scratch, use an existing opportunity to create from a template. This is another area that I find a little bit confusing. And the reason I say that is because what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to create it from scratch. I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call it Ice Cream. Let me break that up. Ice Cream Monday. It's Monday, so let me call it that. And I'm going to click on Create Quote right here. Now, I'm going to go in here. I've got to choose someone to bill it to. So I'm going to choose me. I'm going to search for me. There I am. I'm going to click Apply. So now it's getting billed to me. But remember all those layouts we had? I'm going to click on this drop down right here, and I'm going to choose Sample 1. I'm going to come down to the bottom left. I saved it. I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to preview it. This is what it's going to look like. And keep in mind, we took a ton of stuff out. But this is what it's going to look like. Now, when I go back to the quote, one of the great things you can do with this quote, once I finish it and put everything in it, I can go down to the More Actions, and I can then save this quote as a template. So let's say this quote is one I'd be using over and over and over again. Well, I'm going to click on Save as Quote Template. I'm going to just call it Ice Cream Monday. Okay. But I'm going to put template at the end just to distinguish this information. And I'm going to click Save. Okay. So now I have the Ice Cream Monday template. Let's go back to the quotes for just a minute. Let's say I want to do a new quote. If I create it from template, there's my Ice Cream Monday template. So to back up for a minute, I went into the Link2Quote settings. I went to layout. From the layout, I chose a template that was one of the ones that's built in. I went in and I modified that. I saved it. I gave that layout a name. When I did the next quote, I applied that layout to the quote. And because now let's assume I had gone through a bunch of steps to add stuff to that quote, if I knew that was a very common quote and I was going to use it again, probably in the future, I can save that particular quote as a template. So I'm going through all of this because there are a ton of options here, tons of options. And if you think you cannot get Link2Quotes to work for you because you can't get the quote to look the way you want it, I say that's incorrect. And if there's one area where you're really probably going to want to get help, it's in this area to make that quote look exactly like you want it to look. And I expect, knowing the folks and Ken at, Keystroke, Ken Quigley, the owner of Keystroke, I suspect a lot of this stuff is going to get updated and changed. I give Ken feedback. People give Ken feedback all the time. But this to me is probably the area with the greatest amount of, or you will have the greatest the ability to make things the way you want them, make them your own. But because of that, there's areas of confusion. And I just want to point that out to you because when I first got in here, I'm like, what is all this stuff? Get some help in this area. I think this is a great place to spend some time and money on getting that help. Anyway, my name is Tony Holowitz. I hope you picked up a few things from this. It's a little longer than I normally like to do, but I wanted to give you an overview of the potential here of what it could be. Okay, everyone, have a great day. Be well. Thank you.